Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
Hello. Well, welcome to the studios at Cactus Creek, right here in the city of Oburi. Let me say something. I always love it when I have to introduce my guest, and I can actually say my guest needs no introduction. Oh, yes. And I'm so proud, I'm so honored, I'm so pleased to be able to introduce a guest who needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome our own Vice President, Her Excellency, Professor Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang. She's in the house. Your Excellency, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here. Oh, it's a joy to be here.
Okay. Well, folks, I have to tell you a quick story before I do this interview. You know, normally, you know that I do talk shows, and I interview a lot. And normally when there are people that I really want on my show, I give them an option. I say, listen, I want you to be on my show. But don't worry, if you can't come to me, I'll come to you. So you've seen it, folks. We've gone to several offices and several homes. We go to them when they can't come. So we invited the Vice President, and we've been going up and down this for a long time. So finally, folks, the lady from my office called me and said, the Vice President is ready. So right away, I told her, I said, great, but listen, she's the Vice President. We are happy to come to Jubilee anytime she wants. So she called me later, and she says, well, the Vice President is coming. But guess what? She says she'll come to your studio. I was shocked. Hey, she'll come to my studio? So I reminded the lady, I said, listen, the studio is no longer in Accra. I'm in Aburi. I operate from Cactus Creek. She said, oh, KSM. Also, she said she'll come there. I was shocked. And actually, she did. Show her some love, man. And the funny thing is this. I've interviewed her before. But the first time she came as a running mate. Of course, as a running mate. So she came to me. And there's one thing I told her during the interview. I asked her, I said, I want you to promise that if you ever become a Vice President, I should be the first to interview you. And she actually said, no, that's cool. But there's something else I said. I said that if she'll give me that interview as the Vice President, right after I finish that interview, I've retired. Mr. Wepe, retired. And my last. All I'm saying, if you should be the Vice President, I want your first appearance on this show. Then I can retire. So, Madam, you have kept your word and you are here. So the question now, Madam, should I retire?
So we are going to take you on your word.
You're going to retire.
You see.
But trust me, this one tops it all. You coming here to Cactus Creek, it be mad.
Oh, why? You see, I remember the clip you just played. And you told me, getting to the election, that, oh, if you guys win, I would like to be the first person to interview you. And I said, oh, why not? And I know it's taken a long time, so let me apologize for that. So yes, we should have done this interview much earlier. But you know, having won, there was so much work that needed to be done. So what was it that I was going to talk about? So I'm not trying to justify, but just to explain why it's taking so long. So what is it? You know, you've done the campaign, it's all over. Now there's work ahead of you. Actually, there's a lot of work ahead of you. You are discovering things maybe you didn't think this, what exactly it looked like, and so on. And therefore, you need to constantly adjust your strategy. And that took a lot of time. And then, of course, I had my health crisis. That also took me out of the system for a couple of weeks. And then we came back. And, you know, not too long after, a couple of months down the road, you know what tomorrow means for us. We lost 8 people. And that also sent us back to parts of the drawing board.
And this very sad event, I always wanted to know, I mean, when that happened, what was going through your mind? I mean, what did you think of?
These are moments that require of you to focus even more tightly, to look at what you have, know what you've lost, and how to move forward. It wasn't an easy time for any of us, least for the families, for a woman who had lost her own child. It was a very, very, very tough call. You know, we know accidents can happen, but sometimes when they do happen, and on this scale, it takes so much out of you.
Even may I ask,
you know, just that same morning, I'd had a private meeting with my boss, our president, on another issue, especially, I think it was on the Women's Development Bank issue.
Okay.
So we had had a discussion, and then I'd left his home to go to my own home and then get ready to come to the office. And so within an hour, I got my phone buzzing, and I was wondering what's going on, who is calling. And that was when the news broke. It's disbelief, it's shock, it's many, many emotions going on at the same time. But you also know that this is the time you have to be focused. You know, this is the time you can't lose it. You can't afford to lose it.
It threw you off, but you still...
We had to. So quickly, you find out what are we doing? What do we need to do? And so we called a meeting. Was it emergency cabinet? I don't even remember the details. We all came around. So where have the victims come from? What do we need to do? I remember that it was our current chairman now, Esiedu, and another person who had to go to Koforidua, and we needed to contact those coming from Takoradi. We said, okay, this has happened, it's all in the press, but the families must hear from us. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're also in disbelief, like we are. People were crying. It wasn't an amusing situation at all. But we quickly needed to come around and send emissaries to the specific places and alert the families. And I took it upon myself to alert the families in Accra. So I led that delegation. And, you know, going to a young woman with a child, and, you know, as I said, but, you know, so very, very tough. And you are going to console someone. How do you appear? You know? So just reining in your own emotions was very, very difficult.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for telling us. And on that note, let me say we continue to wish all of them to continue resting in peace, you know, for such a sad end. But let's move on. You know, you have come from a background of academia. You were the Vice Chancellor for Cape Coast University. And now you are right here in the heat of politics, where we know it to be brutal and hard and everything, and you have come from academia. You know, some time ago, we used to tease people coming from academia that they were bouclon, which simply meant that all they knew was book, not the practical theory.
Call us names.
Yeah. So here you are, you have come from the academia, and you are in politics, where everything is hot, action, never theory.
So coming from that background, what was it that prepared you
to being a politician?
Okay, you've asked many questions. One of them is, how was I prepared? I don't think anyone can be adequately prepared for many of these positions. at the university, we work, we are very, very structured. Even then, you see, the fundamental issue is that it's a people situation. Whether on the campus or out of
Outside.
it's about people. Thank you. They may be in different categories. They may have different objectives, but it's all about people. Okay? So I was not prepared, as in maybe whilst I was vice chancellor, I was being prepared to become minister. No, far from it. It just happened that way. And so, as I told you earlier on, you just once you accept that responsibility, you just put your best foot forward and you do the best you can. So yes, of course, the atmosphere on campus is very different, okay? But it's not too different from the atmosphere out of the campus because there are structures in both places. At the university, yes, you have, even when you have students, they are not a monolithic group called students. You have those who just came from secondary school, who are constantly losing their way into which lecture theater did I come in last week? Just part of the process. And you also have, let's say, final year students. You have master's students. You have PhD students. When you talk about your colleagues, you have those who taught you. You have those you taught, and the workers, you have them from the registry right down to casual workers. But you see, finally, you have to look at all of these as they are all human beings. They all need the same things. They all deserve the same things. So I think that is one of the things that helped me when I moved to the ministry. The one opening the gate, the one who cleans your office when you get there, and the one who, I don't know, drives your car, they are all ordinary human beings. And your attitude, your work towards them should never lose sight of it. Okay, so yes, you come into this arena and we have a country that is unfortunately on a path of polarization, which is not very helpful anyway. But I think that if we can all understand that it's all about human life, and yes, so you are in a position of power or in a position of trust, but you are a representative. You didn't put yourself there. Somebody put yourself there. So on behalf of that person, what are you doing? Okay. So for me, that is how I understand politics. It's about using what has been invested in you in the interest of those who gave you that opportunity. Okay. So definitely in any position, whether on the campus or out of the campus, you can never think that, oh, you are the only one who so deserves to be there. No, there's nothing like that. Okay.
So the key thing is that it's all about the people. The people will be people wherever they are.
Thank you.
Education, politics, whatever. They are all the people.
And I like that reaction because I remember when I was doing the work for World Learning Incorporated, and they used to send me American students twice a semester. No, twice a year each semester. And I remember once we went for a board meeting at DC, and they asked me, so what really is your objective doing this? And I said, oh, if the students can come to the understanding that people are just people, I'll be very happy. That is it. So you see, you have to go to the fundamental issue. We are all ordinary human beings. Wow. So you start from there.
Wow. Okay. People are always people. I agree. So you enter now the realm of politics, where people are people, but people are NDC, people are MPP, people are CPP, whatever.
You see, but the common denominator in what you have said is people.
Where are NDC? All people.
You see. So you agree with me?
I agree with you. How do you react to the people who are actually do not conform to your views and your system and dare to make you...
You just want to say people want to be nasty.
Yeah, thank you. Show some love for the word. Thank you for the word. People can be very nasty.
Oh, very, very unpleasant.
Very, very unpleasant.
You know, you see, the thing is this. You are never, ever going to get 100% of the people to appreciate what you do.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. If you can get 70%, you are very lucky. So you find a way to hold on to the 70%.
To the 70. Knowing full well that 30...
Thank you. But at the same time, no. But at the same time, you don't let go of the 30 people.
Okay.
Maybe if you have the patience to listen to them, why they are not coming along. And if you are able to give them the right information to consider or reconsider why they are not coming along, maybe with time, the 30% will get to 28% or 25%. At the same time, you hold on to your...
The 70.
So they also don't so they also don't reduce. So you play that, knowing very well that maybe when you get down to about 10 or so percent, as for them, there's nothing you can do. They've decided that, hey,
you have the understanding. There are certain people that were there.
But even that doesn't mean that you should abandon them.
You shouldn't abandon them.
And it doesn't mean that if they are being unpleasant to you, you should be unpleasant back to them. It's a waste of your energies. You don't do that. You just try to leave them alone. Hopefully, they'll come along.
Okay. Okay. And if they don't come along, you've decided that there's a certain percentage.
Oh, if you have 80%, 90%, you thank God.
Okay. Where do you think you are at now?
I don't know.
You don't? Well, the polls suggest that our boss is...
yes.
The favorability rating is very high.
Oh, yes. Our boss is flying. And that's what we want to see. And that's what we want to see. You see, it's about supporting him. When the ratings are good for him, it reflects on all of us. You see? So I think that's where our focus should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about where your focus should be, I know that it's also human nature. I'm glad the way you explained how human nature will always be human nature. So here you are in a situation with your boss, the president, and he has his beliefs and certain things. Are there any occasions where you need to come across that, boss, this, can we, do you differ sometimes, or you're always in agreement? And when you differ, how do you resolve it?
You see, first of all, what are we doing together? That's a fundamental question. We are here because we have a manifesto. We did the campaign. The people of Ghana listened to us. They were very merciful to us. We have a strategy. Okay? So what is there to fundamentally disagree about? To begin with.
The issue is we are building the nation.
This is it. You see, so what is there to disagree? That we don't want development, or we don't want roads, or we don't want hospitals. What is there to so fundamentally disagree that you be in a conflict with your boss?
Okay.
You
Considering
see,
you all have one...
and that's what it is. Or that's what it should be. He has all... You see, he will see more than we will see. He will face more pressures than we would. So you try to defer as much as you can. And you know that he's not going to do anything away from the agreed objectives. You know him enough, you trust him enough. And he demonstrates that enough. So your job or my job is to support him. Of course, he's not going to ask you to go and jump into the sea or anything like that. Okay, so far so good.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very, very thankful. I'm very, very thankful that we have such a good working relationship. Yes.
Okay, that's so good to know. So, in terms of having that good working relationship and also being on the same plane in terms of what you're doing, you know, people have asked, and I'm glad you have come from academia to this, is all the people. But people have asked, are Ghanaians ready and prepared for a reset? And so far, it looks quite encouraging. But from your view, Ghana, are we ready that are we ready to reset?
Every election is a call for reset. Otherwise, why do we do it?
Some elections, they just come to continue.
Yeah, so that is why we are not moving as quickly as everybody wants. What have we been complaining about? So when you are able to isolate those issues that we think are drawing us back, then you have to reset something. Something has to change. We just had the floods, and we know that this is not the first time. Maybe in this magnitude, yes, but generally,
yeah.
So we go around, we do the usual discussions, and then the floods recede, and then we are back, and then we wait
for the next.
So it gets to a point people say, okay, let's not wait. Let's do what we can to ensure that if nature reacts this way, at least we would have been seen to have played a role as people. You see? So yes, if we know that our country can do much better than it has been doing, we know that we can take much better care of our resources than we have done in the past. We were not called the Gold Coast for nothing.
Yeah.
So if your resources have built other people's communities and they have not built yours, you need just that item. You need to ask yourself, what do I need to research in this area? What has been going wrong? What should go right? So yes, you know, the question you ask is very interesting in the sense that people may not be ready. You know, change is not that easy. Sometimes we get used to routine, and asking us to do something it just requires so much effort, and you know that so much discomfort. Maybe that's the word. And so it's easier just to go on doing what you are doing and running your commentary than really taking the step to overturn things. But we also know that when we are able to take that step, it helps us better. So then again, you are not going to get everybody to come around. No. Yeah. Some will learn when they see results. And then they are convinced that, this is okay. Some will look at the process and, but I should have done this and this and that. You must accept the criticism. Many people mean well. So you shouldn't also put yourself in a position of thinking that, I know it all and nobody should advise me. No, that doesn't work. And you must also know that fundamentally, because it's about people, persuasion is important.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about persuasion, not propaganda. Okay. Persuasion as in appealing to people's intellect.
And not propaganda.
Yeah, as in just using
choreographing.
And that sort of thing. Because that wears off quickly. But persuasion doesn't. And
like
persuasion
propaganda wears off.
It will. Easily.
Yeah.
And persuasion requires more effort in convincing people to come to a certain position because they have also thought about it. They've considered it. And they've come to the conclusion that this is the way to go. It's a process. And you must have the patience and the strategy to realize that kind of conclusion. Okay.
Speaking of what you are talking about, we are now practicing the multi-party democracy where the so-called, for lack of a better word, opposition, they are actually bent on trying to point out where you're going wrong. Speaking of what you're saying, at what point do you have the right to be dismissive of pressure from the opposition, or do you always contain what they're saying and be tolerant? Do you have the right to be dismissive at some point, say, we know this, let's move on? How do you do that balance?
You see, we started this conversation by saying that it's about people. We are not all going to think the same way. We are not all going to have the same intention. So the intention is very important. Why are you doing this? Okay. Are you doing this just to be provocative? Are you doing this to make a point that is very important? If so, what method are you using? And you see, one of the things we all need to be mindful of is that things are slowly but surely evolving.
Things are evolving.
Even with all of us. You see, once upon a time, maybe I was living in a small town and my uncle was living in a big town, and once in a while he'll come and tell us what's going on. That was fine, and that required a certain type of strategy of communication. Today, before uncle gets to the village, nephew knows already. Yeah. So when I'm talking about the evolution, that's what I mean. Okay. So if you use the same method as in once upon a time, you might not be as successful. Okay. Otherwise, you'll find out that the electorate has gone ahead of you. So that's how I'll say to that. Okay. So yes, you may have your position, you may have your reasons, the intention, but you must be constantly aware that the people are either leaving you behind or they have left.
Well, thank you. Now that you bring this up, let me move on to the next question. There are times that you think you're doing the right thing for the people, and you actually are anticipating that they are happy you're doing it, but they may not like it or even understand it. So this brings me to this whole thing of resetting. How difficult it is, because you want to reset and the people think that what you're doing is not anything in their interest. And whenever it happens, you know what we say in Ghana, it will get to election, you will see. We'll use our kukurumuti to throw you. So in a situation like this, how do you deal with it? You know you're doing the right thing. The people say, we don't like this and we are going to use kukurumuti. How do you handle a situation like that?
And I think that when they do that, that should be something you should take very, very positively.
Positively?
Oh, yes. Because you see, they are telling you that there's a gap. There's something they don't quite get. And instead of just dismissing them, you can win them just by encouraging dialogue. Why are you saying that? So there's something you are unhappy about. What is it? So you see, dialogue is very, very important. Listening is very, very important. Respecting is very, very important. If you just say, oh, I mean, then you've also lost it. You yourself, you've lost it. So you don't have enough to go and convince anyone to get it. You see? So yes, as I said, change is not easy. We all sometimes get very comfortable in our little beehives. But maybe when you step out, you may see something else. Yeah. And as I said, the person may be waiting for the opportunity to experience something. You see, and also where people have, or where their trust has been abused for so long, they get cynical. And it becomes very, very difficult. But if you are determined enough and you are willing to work with them and respect their views enough, I think you will start making some progress.
Awesome.
Okay, you've been in power now for over a year now. Is there anything you have realized that goes beyond what you expected? Maybe you come across a situation and said, wow, the situation is tough. I expected this, but nothing beyond this. This one, I will say that this has come as a tough situation.
Well, not beyond, but we expected, in the sense that maybe we've had a system where you spend money, excuse my language, by heart. You don't do that, okay? If you decide that, listen, where we are at, we are not in an easy place. We owe everybody. You can negotiate your debts. There are some debts you can't negotiate, you must pay. So some money comes, and the expectation would have been to throw it around, which would have been nice. But at what expense are you doing that? If it's at the expense of health, or it's at the expense of roads or education, of the things that benefit everybody. When you fix a road, doesn't matter how polarized we are or we are not. If I can go to the chief's compound and get my blood pressure measured and get first aid and get somebody tell me, listen, your sugar level, you must watch it. Does it really matter? And these are all parts of the reset. To realize that, yes, I was the one who did this and so on, so I deserve this. We agree, but we are not there yet. We are not there yet. That becomes tough to manage. So as I said, once people begin to see how you are expending their resources, it becomes relatively easy, not completely easy, but to a notch easier. Because that's where I live and our roads are terrible and I don't have a job and I don't have an appointment, but my roads are being fixed. It doesn't exactly make me very, very happy, but at least it's a little easier.
Something is happening.
Do you get it?
So you're talking about delivering results. That's what people want.
This is it. It's about results, and about results that everybody can see. If my child was in the secondary school, or I was supporting somebody in the secondary school, and every other weekend I had to take gari and shito and everything, and now I don't have to do that anymore. Yes, you haven't gotten your appointment, we know, we apologize. We wish you have it. But maybe that is also working. Do you get it? So I've used health or education or any other way in which you can intervene socially to ensure that you are reducing the stresses the people we talked about are now experiencing. So that has been tough to manage, but we are keeping our eyes on the ball and ensuring that we are doing the right things for all of us, all the people, including myself.
Including those who do not even agree with you.
Oh, well.
I like the point. I like the part you mentioned about propaganda is gone. It's not persuasion. Because I see a lot of that in our politics on these parts. It's always propaganda, you know. But sooner than later, the truth will come out, and then people realize that, oh, after all, it was all propaganda. But when persuasion fails, what's the next step for you?
No, first you need to find out why has it failed. You must do evaluation. You must do introspection. Why has this failed? Is it my method? Was it my results? You know, I fixed the road in the community. Maybe this person didn't see. Maybe he's one of the 10% people who don't want to see.
Of all the problems, and there are tons of it in Ghana, you know, and I know our boss, I won't say your boss, I know our boss is really bent on resetting and fixing as much as can be fixed. What would you identify as maybe 2 or 3 of the key areas that are a must to be tackled?
Yeah, you must start with the things that affect everyone, like the economy.
The economy.
Like security. These are fundamental. We must all feel safe. We must all get on with our lives. We must all get proper training to be able to contribute to that same economy in whatever way we can. So these remain, and our boss is really, really working so hard. So hard. To ensure that we are removing these obstacles from our paths. Okay, so yes, and in all of this, you must also be mindful that the people we are talking about belong to different groups. Even when you say women, there's something you have said, and I think this is at the risk of repeating myself. There's something you have said, and there's something you have not said. Okay?
What have I said?
There's a woman, because we're all women biologically, socially, economically, in terms of education, in terms of positions, you're not the same. Somebody is selling in the rain as you and I speak now because he doesn't have the money to buy an umbrella. She's also a woman. Somebody is by the roadside hawking boiled groundnuts. Have you considered her capital? Another person may own something else. They are also women. So in all of this, you should be very mindful that you are not just grouping people and thinking that, oh, no. You must look at the base and bring people up, whilst not abandoning those at the top. Okay. So talking about women, we said we'll do the Women's Development Bank. We are dead serious about it.
When are we to expect it?
Let me tell you a little bit before I get to that question. I'm hoping that before this year ends, we'd have launched it. But you see, before then, you go to any bank in this country, and there's a women's desk. Why does that exist? Why do you have a women's desk? The rest, where do they go? And who are the rest? I'm not asking you to answer.
I was about to.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so even when you go to the women's desk, which women normally go there? Does it include this lady who went to get somebody's donuts to hawk? Does she go to this bank? Where will this woman get her capital? How about her? She's also a woman. So when we are talking about Women's Development Bank, that's what we mean. To be able to reach these women. Okay, the bank manager has his own KPIs and, he must bring collateral and a whole lot of that. That's his job. We are not going to ask him to ignore the instructions given and to lose his job. But we are talking about the majority of women, and men too. But let's focus on the women for the purposes of the discussion. And they are in the tiny, they call them micro something. No, they are beyond the micro. So what should they do?
To what extent will you apportion the blame to our socialization? Because, for example, when a man is busy going up and down, it's accepted, or a bear.
My friend, don't tell me that we are not busy.
No, yeah, that's the point I'm making. When a woman is doing the same thing, she's too no.
Oh, I think that
is it that our socialization? What accounts for that?
I think a lot is not taking care of our culture. I'm not blaming the culture. I've never done so. If you study our culture well, which we don't, you don't study our culture. And I think that is part of our being. Our culture, very broadly speaking, has very little patience, if any, for people who just idle about. Whether men or women, we are on the farms. The women used to have their own courts. So they were in the judiciary. The women are in the food processing, the oils and the gari and so on. These are the scientists. What respect do we give them? So what pushed us away from them? It was school and some religion too. All of a sudden, we are hearing statements about, oh, the woman's place is the kitchen. Which kitchen?
The woman must be submissive. Like it's being the kitchen.
It's in the Bible, isn't it?
It's the Bible, yeah.
So you see where some of our troubles are coming from. Okay. Whereas, even let's take something like fishing, sea fishing. You normally see is the men who go sea fishing. You don't see the women. Why is that the case? Because the saline air on the sea can affect the woman's body in very, very serious ways. I'm looking for the scientific examination of this. So that is why they will stay away. But you see, the moment the canoe gets to the beach, and if you watch, it's very, very interesting. The men will take their nets and leave. How that fish moves from the canoe to the boat, goes home to be smoked or to be salted. How that fish from Elmina gets to Burkina is the work of the women. So you see, there'll be gender differentiation roles.
Yeah.
And nobody saw another person's role as inferior. So that sort of thing will come from the binary way of saying things. I'm top or you are down. I'm short or you are young or I'm old. And that sort of thing. That kind of thinking has not helped us. So you see, as I said, we don't, tell me one profession in which traditionally you don't find women. It's only when you guys took over and went to school that you left us behind.
Yeah.
Whether it's religion, we call them what? Fetish priests. Disgraceful to all of us. What's so fetish about it? So whether it's religion, whether it's the law, whether it's food processing, whether it's raising, we were there. So how did we become so invisible? I keep asking myself that, so the people, the Queen Nzingas and the Aminas and the Yasantuas and the Mabel Dankwas, what was it? What pushed them up? If today we are complaining, was it the same in their time? Or maybe it was different?
It's a very interesting question.
See,
even if it was different, it would have been different in terms of, it would have been the worst situation for the woman.
Yes. When Yasantua spoke up, what made her? And did people go and condemn her because as a woman, she should have been in the kitchen? And if she was supposed to have been in the kitchen, why do you think she was part of that discussion? Unless that discussion, the space had been turned into a kitchen, which I doubt. So you see, I feel that we have not paid enough attention to our culture. And we are creating all kinds of problems that don't need to exist. Okay. People have their strengths.
Yeah.
And we don't all have the same strengths, and we don't have to. You know, if their council has something like Ebusua Batan. Ebusua Batan is not always a female. Think about it. And think about our language. When we say the O, Wa, Oreko, Oreba, we never had this he or she business. So even our language was very respectful of the genders.
It's not he's going or she's going.
You see, or it is going. And other languages even have the neuter and a whole lot of things. That's fine. Yeah, but how about ours?
You've been in education before.
I know.
How much blame, let me use the word blame, should we apportion to the pedagogy or the system of education that is ingraining these things in our heads? Is it our education?
You remember the wahala, excuse me, that I had when I said, let's raise our children in our local languages, even up to P3. You know. So let's move on.
I remember.
Yeah. It had to begin somewhere. Okay?
So you should go back to the schools, right? To start there?
From the homes.
From the homes.
Should be the home before. You see, by the time the child steps off, something has gone into his mind. He's not going to school with an empty brain, no. Okay, so it's us. So I don't think, so every so often we say, oh, we should start from the schools. Fine. No, that's not where we should start. I don't think so. We should start from the home. Because see, the child is, as I said, is stepping out of something. And the child is at its most formative years. The brain is forming, and it's forming from home.
So now, let's look at the home. You have parents, you have the man and wife who have all been schooled earlier to think certain things that they are now imparting on their children. So it doesn't even start at the home. It starts, a friend is saying, what's the word? False start. Even at the home, they get their false start. Even before they get to the school, they have the false start. Is there any way education can correct that?
Oh, yes. You see, education is never always about the classroom. No. Education is about the entire environment. It's not only the teacher as somebody who was trained and got a certificate. The immediate teachers are the caregivers. They are the parents or the first people who interact with this, beautiful bundle of joy. So that is why we need to have all kinds, whether the classroom, the non-classroom, and anything in between. Yeah.
Let's ask this. We've seen religion play quite a significant role in this thinking. What's your solution to it? Should those who are teaching it be reset to understand that certain things that they are quoting and throwing at us, so you're submissive, because it's in the Bible or in the Quran or whatever.
Listen, if it's, you have to ask yourself, as a country, what do you want? That's a fundamental question. Where are you now? And where do you think you should get to in 30? You need long-term planning. So short thing is not helping us. Long-term planning. So let us envision Ghana in 30 years. Okay? Let's all agree that wherever we are, it's fine, but we can do better. And that in 30 years, we should get to the good.
Okay.
So what do we do now? What steps? Okay, envisioning 30 years. Let's break it down. Let's say every 5 years or every 10 years or 6 years, whatever. Okay? So what steps should we put in place now to ensure that in 5 years we are at this place? And that is why you need the proper monitoring and evaluation. So you need to break down the 6 years into parts. Come down.
So you can evaluate it part by part.
So in, let's say, year 1, 12 months. Let's break it, let's say every 6 months. Okay? So for the first 6 months, where should we be? And what do you need to put in place for the realization of the 6 month objective? You know, it's like you are going on a journey. You aim, let's say you are aiming for 30 years, but the 6 months is the objective. Okay? So you break down the objective into steps.
Measurable steps.
So, yes, so by the 2nd or 3rd week or the 3rd month in the first 6 months, you ought to start your, hey, where are we at? Are we going to make it? Are we slow? Are we fast? And so on and so forth. And you keep faith with the people. This is not something you do on your desk and feel that you are so right, everybody is wrong. That's not going to work.
Where are we at, in your own estimation? Where should we be now? Are we okay because of the time so far, or are we late?
No, we've made some good progress. And I want to thank everybody who's come on board. The people we appointed, the people who supported us, the people who've been patient with us, giving us advice and so on. Everybody has been part of it. We are making some progress. We never thought that within a year, the problems in the secondary schools would have abated, roads to be constructed. We are not borrowing, as Ghanaians say, by heart. We are even paying the bonds to people, not all of them, but we are trying. And again, I plead for everybody's patience, that we are removing these thorny issues, nkakra. So we are very happy about that. We are never going to say that, oh, we've done it all. We haven't.
Okay.
No, or we are where we think we ought to be. But with the same prudent expenditure patterns, we'll be making more progress maybe than we've done now. Okay, and as I said, if we continue using resources in the interest of everybody, all the people, providing satisfying the needs, rather, not providing, satisfying needs, I think that we'll be doing a better job than we have even started. Okay. If, for example, you live in the tropics, there's hardly anything you need that doesn't grow here. Hardly. But you decide that you must eat food somebody else who has worse weather than you do. Then there's something wrong.
Basically.
And it should not continue.
Yeah.
I'll be the last person to say that, oh, there should be a law that says you shouldn't eat item B. But all of us should not support your taste. You want to eat that, you go and pay for it. For whatever the reason. But the rest of us want to eat the ordinary food. We should not be subsidizing your taste. Whether it is plants or what don't we have here?
Let's use rice, for example.
Thank you. You see, and remember in our previous time, we encouraged the local production of rice to the extent, even when you were driving in the street, you could see the banners, Eat Ghana rice, small tables, people had advertised brown rice and white rice and so on. So what happened? So
we abandoned them all because we wanted perfume rice.
So we should never get to the position where, as a country, we take one step forward and 25 behind.
Back.
then we are not too serious. We have enough people who can grow enough rice in this country. We know that.
So what has stopped us from doing it?
I remember those days I took a trip to Liberia from the university. We were helping them to re-establish the education system because after the war, so many things had gone wrong. And I remember going to the restaurant or the hotel I stayed in, and they brought the rice. The rice was so this rice. And they said, oh, here, if you import rice, you do it at your risk.
They don't touch it.
They don't like it. And I said, that's
they like their local rice.
I'm telling you. And our local rice is good. It's healthy. When we talk, I'm not going to run down anybody's food item. That's not what I'm doing. But sometimes we don't ask questions. When we say, oh, this one is polished, with what? What
Your special polish.
Is it helping my body or yours? And okay, if it's the polished rice we want, what are they using to polish theirs that we are not using?
We can use to polish ours.
So what is it? And first of all, let's err on the side of health. Is it healthy? That's fundamental. Then we can go into other areas. So yes, rice. I remember, when I hadn't had any experience of traveling outside Ghana as a child, I used to think that, our food was boring. Yeah, food is boring and so on. Then you go outside and you realize that, all they have is wheat and potatoes. So we have cocoyam and yam of different kinds and cassava of different kinds. So you begin to think again. And you ask yourself, so if they have only these two items and they use them so well, what is preventing us from using the many ones that we have and not even promoting them as well?
Isn't that all part of the resetting we should be going through?
Oh, I think...
So that eventually we don't even import rice?
No, as for importing food we can grow, we should stop it. As we shouldn't even be debating it. So
the food we can grow.
Yeah, you can grow. So otherwise, where are you going to get the jobs from? If you are importing things, the job is already elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay? So when they get there, how many people are just going to offload them from the ship and distribute? How many people? But if people are to farm them, to harvest them, okay, to process them, and then to distribute, then you'll be creating more jobs.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
Than giving the job.
It's
because
simple.
We should stop, watching our children go and drown in the Mediterranean.
I hear you.
Yeah. No, to look for things, they don't even know where they are going. But desperation is moving them out.
Anywhere is better.
No, we should reverse that.
Yeah.
We should reverse that.
Yeah. And I'm glad you have mentioned that because that's a really active part of getting people to reset their brain, No, you see, but then when you come to the reality, just one second, it's the fact that they have to go because they're not feeling fulfilled in Ghana. So they think that even if they go, I know people who have finished medical school, who are in the US, and before they can start practicing as doctors, they have to go and do maybe wash dishes in restaurants before gradually they can get into the, So I'm saying that's the real situation down there. We don't have it now. In the absence of not having it now, what's your advice? What do they do?
You see, I don't think that it's a moral issue. It's not a moral issue. So it's not a question of preaching at people. It's about providing opportunity. Okay? It's about the opportunity. Because if he can train as whatever profession, and then he has to go somewhere else and do all these jobs that he'll never do here, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay? So he has put all his hopes in a system he doesn't even know yet. And as we are saying, is desperation making this person make this decision? When he goes there and meets his counterparts in the same profession, and he realizes that they went to school on loans that they have to pay back. And maybe that is why they are getting the remunerations they are. It sets you thinking. But you see, it's all about creating the opportunities. I was telling my children that when we were growing up, our older brothers and sisters, they used to have vacation jobs because the jobs were here. And at that time, I'm not sure of people who would have left to go and drown somewhere or to be beaten by people because they are desperate. So something has gone wrong. And it is that thing we need to identify.
What do you think has gone wrong?
I think lack of planning. Lack of planning. Lack of planning ahead. Of not seeing the 30-year plan now. You know you have a high birth rate. Ours is it 2.2 or thereabouts. So you should know, as you sit here now, if this birth rate is constant, how many schools will need in 30 years?
To accommodate.
What are you doing about that now?
Yeah.
Yes. And how many teachers and how many this and that? And what economy will support that? Not just how many people. How are you going to pay them? And you need to ask those questions now.
Yeah. And I agree with you 100%. The lack of planning. So
it's all of us. I'm guilty. I don't know about you, but I'm guilty.
I'm guilty some.
So we are all learning from our mistakes.
Yeah.
You see,
so as we are learning from our mistakes, and we know today that let's say we have a 30-year agenda, but whatever will happen in 30 years should happen today. And the fact that it is not happening, what do we do about the fact that it's not happening?
No.
Do we just make it happen?
You see, first we must recognize that in 30 years, we should have gotten to this position. So you can get people to come and say, oh, you need so many billions of dollars to get there. That's good. How are you going to generate that money? It should be part of that 6-month plan. Working toward. Oh, yes.
Working towards.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's not just enough to say that, oh, by this time we should have this number of houses and so on. What type of houses? Built with what? Where? Okay? Should you still be building estate houses like we used to do when we were children? Or the same place, given the fact that your land will not expand? But the sky is the limit. You saw why we did the E-blocks and did 4 floors. The only reason why I agreed to the 4 floors was that we're having such serious challenges with energy. You should have done about 7 floors. It's not about planning for those of us who are here now. So it's for those here to come. And you have all this data. The data should tell you something. So I'd rather build a school that has empty classrooms than one that is filled immediately. If it's filled today, you've already lost. And we had similar experiences when we were commissioning some of the schools. Same day it was filled. Oh my goodness. Do we think the population is not going to increase? If it's going to increase even by 2.5, that's a number of people.
Yeah.
Where will they be next year?
Unfortunately, it's not factored into the planning.
And that was even when we were doing 4 floors. So if we're still doing this 9-unit classroom and that sort of thing, you know.
So tell us, what is being done now in terms of the planning? You started earlier by even talking about the floods that you see them.
In terms of the planning, remember, we did the 40-year plan. And I used to be so excited about that exercise, and that's how I got in touch with the late Professor Kwesi. And I used to engage him. What exactly are you doing? What is happening? And I was so excited about it because you need that to move forward. And again, things come, things go. You finish that arduous work. Somebody comes and puts it aside and say, no, I'm now doing another, it's just so confusing and it doesn't help us. So that is why I feel that an outstanding referendum should be on a 10-year plan.
On
something we should agree on. And every party going and coming must stick to that plan.
Must stick to the plan.
Oh, yes. Yes, you must stick to the plan. Maybe you can tell us what strategies you have
to fit into
to
this
realize that plan.
Because everybody comes with a different strategy, they abandon it, and then...
that's our problem. So it's something that I feel very strongly we need to consider as a country. And in the process, ensure, as I said, that the people are not all the same. Okay? They may not necessarily have the same needs. Factor all of that in. Okay? And ensure that you are reaching all of us in different ways as possible. And if you need to consider how to focus, begin at the base.
Begin at the base.
Yeah, start at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Don't start at the top.
And that's where the parenting comes in. Right
Everything,
from there.
All of us.
I'm going to ask this question that I'll admit, I don't think it's such an appropriate question to ask. But I'm going to ask anyway. Because those who are watching me are KSM, so let me ask the question. Would you consider running for president?
I knew that question. The way you were giving all kinds of... Listen, that's my response. We worked very, very hard at our manifesto. It took a number of years. Our methodology was demanding. And our presidential candidate then took the lead. He had a speak out tour, if you remember.
Yeah.
Poor man, going around the country, engaging people. We followed when we did the manifesto. People volunteered. And I want to use this medium to thank them. People flew into Accra. People drove, just coming to share ideas on how we could reset our country. We didn't have money. Listen, it was a very, very good experience, but we all felt energized. We had a draft of a manifesto. We stepped out to campaign, went everywhere. The people of Ghana were merciful. They voted for us for a reason. They voted massively, and we remain grateful. They didn't vote for us today to be talking about going or not going. They said we should come and solve the problems. We have an agenda. What we inherited was a very, very tough situation. We have work to do. Whether we are going or coming depends on the work we are doing. It depends on the support we are giving our president, who is leading the charge. And it depends on the quality of support we are giving. And if you're already going left and right and center and back, and it's not even time, I think it's a betrayal of the cause of the people. And I don't think it is right. So please help us to fulfill the dreams of this beautiful country that we know can do much better even than it is doing now. Let us focus on getting the job done. And I think that, speaking for myself, that is what I want to do.
Keep the focus,
Let's
build the nation,
thank you.
Deliver results.
Thank you very much.
Show some love, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so fantastic. That is so fantastic. Unfortunately, we have just a minute. And so I'm not going to be throwing more questions because I could be here all day. But in the short time that we have left, this is, where is the camera? This one, so Excellency, please look directly into this. Tell the people of Ghana what you want them to hear or know, whatever. Please, that's your camera.
First, I want to thank the people of Ghana. As I said in my submission, they've been very kind, they've been very merciful, they've been very accommodating. We don't take your dreams for granted. We want to continue to work with you. We want you to continue to work with us, direct us. We've never positioned ourselves as the people who know it all. We don't. We are still in the process of learning, and whatever we achieve should be achieved on everybody's back. You are all part of it, and I want to thank you, and thank you again.
Well, folks, unfortunately, so Vice President, they have so many other things, but before we go, Madam, Your Excellency, let me say I'm very, very, very thankful for the honor you've given me just to be able to grant you this interview. Not only that, even deciding that you will come to my studio, I feel blessed and I am humbled. So thank you very much for that. I want you all guys to join me to thank her for that. Yes.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So until we come your way again, KSM signing off as I always do, in the same old words you've heard for the last 20 years. What do I say? I am out of. Let all of you say, yeah.
The KSM Show.